They say the eyes are a window that lead the world into their soul. And that may just be because you're cursed.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? I'm Lloyd.
And I'm Natasha.
We're Midnight Comics.
Welcome back to another episode of
What We're Reading.
And today we're reading
What Peers Back by Matthew Lamont. So before we get started, and I think we forgot to do this on the last video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Look at me trying to step up.
But yes, of course, indie breakdown.
You don't do indie breakdown.
I do whatever I want.
I apologize. She runs the camp here.
So if you're new here, What We're Reading is a series where we bring you different indie comic books that we're currently reading, and we tell you about them, our thoughts, our feelings. They're always books that we enjoy, so we know you will enjoy them too. So subscribe if you're into that and you want to get weekly book recommendations like this video in order to get more. And of course, when we're done, let us know what you thought. So moving on to
cover art. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, same artist all the way through. Again, author and artist. Matthew killed it. If you guys like, and this is going to kind of blend into interior art, but we'll dive more into that specifically. But
mostly because of it, like the cover
is actually like an extended version of one of the stories, if I'm not mistaken. Just kind of. But if you like, and gosh, probably going to say this about the story too. If you like Junji Ito, and that kind of art style that really kind of, it doesn't have to be necessarily gory, but just kind of jarring and chilling. Oh my gosh, that's the word. Chilling type of art, then that's what you're getting here. Everything's in black and white.
Even on the cover here, like it says what peers back. It's the guy there looking very distorted and horrified, peering at you from the cover. And of course, we just at this point gonna blend that with the interior art because it's all gonna kind of go together.
And so it looks phenomenal. Again, same thing as that front cover, looks good. Everything's in black and white, 4 to 8 panels at absolute most. And there's never too much going on artwork wise and stuff like that.
And I love because every story there's a little blurb at the end where he talks about the inspirations and stuff behind the story and the art style. And so some stories it's like he really wanted to attack his perspective. He wanted to be able to practice perspective in this story. He wanted to practice his inking in the story. He wanted to try something new with this story. So you can tell it's all his art, but in each story the art style is him trying something different or practicing something to get better at it while telling an eerie story.
And the cool thing is, and I guess segueing, we're going to talk about the story now, right? And so one of the things that I like is it's not your kind of gore horror, right? It doesn't have to be grotesque. It could be like the simplest thing. I think, and again, it's an anthology, so it's like it's different stuff.
It's more not gore. It's more chilling things you think about or don't think about that are like the videos we were watching last night, where it was like, oh, these are the video games that gave me an existential crisis. And it's like, yes, this book is full of existential crisis after existential crisis, and then a few like cringe things like that happened, like nails peeling back.
There was one story in particular where they were looking up in the sky and they submitted their flesh to the sky. That whole thing, that joint was crazy. But anyway, we're not going to spoil too much. But like, there's just certain things that
it's over 200 pages. Like. I can tell you 2 stories and you won't get half the book.
No, you won't. We can't talk about...
I will say pacing isn't...
It's not a big deal in this one because each story is 1 page, but how it's conveyed in those 4 to 8 panels per really speaks volumes because you get a full, real quick 1-page story in those panels. So in order to pull that off, you've got to have a handle on your pacing. Right. So
it lends to what you've been talking about a lot about, where you don't need a lot of pages to tell a good story. You can tell a good story in a page. And it reminds me, I just remembered this, that when I was reading it, because this was when I had first started reading it, thought about this. It reminds me of those 2-sentence horror stories. Back when creepypastas were starting to decline and people were trying to be like, well, how do we make creepypastas interesting again? And they started doing the 2-sentence horror stories, and a lot of those were really so good. It's just like, I heard my mom call my name. Then as I walked down the hall, she pulled me in the room and said, I heard that too. And it's like, oh crap. So what was that? Your name? Like, Those were really good, and I wish people wrote more of those because I love them so much. But that's the vibe here for me. It's that 2-sentence horror story vibe, but just in a page / 4 panels to 8 panels near to the end.
Yeah, and I think that sums it up. Honestly, it's you need to pick it up. What Peers Back by Matthew Landnick. Absolutely phenomenal. If you're watching this, dude, keep up the great work. And yeah, that's all, man. Thank y'all for tuning into this another episode of What We're Reading. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely pick that book up. And don't forget, like Tasha said earlier on, to like and subscribe for more like this. Our book recommendations at this every Saturday. Every Saturday? Every Saturday. Yeah, all indie books, by the way. All indie books.
Always indie.
Yes. And I guess with that being said, remember, until next time, midnight is coming. Oh, look at me. I tried to do the whole ending and stuff.